ICTR suspects are presumed guilty until they have proven their innocence. These words of Kenyan lawyer Kennedy Ogeto might serve as a summary of the 14 to 16 November 2009 conference. His colleague Beth Lyons agrees with him.
We have no obligation to prove the innocence of our clients. A person is presumed innocent. But what happens at the ICTR is there's a presumption of guilt. But there is a reverse presumption, contrary to international law, international norms, basic principles of human rights, that presumes the person, the detainee, as guilty. And this is wrong. We have no obligation to do anything. It's a prosecution that has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the person who's the accused is guilty. Now, of course, we do something.
One major anomaly that leads these ICTR defense lawyers to come to that conclusion is the joint criminal enterprise. With this strategy of grouping people with different levels of responsibilities, the prosecution has found a way to put forward its thesis of a plan to commit genocide. Speaking on how the joint criminal enterprise hinders the rule of law, Dr. John Laflang, the Director of Studies at the Institute of Democracy and Cooperation in Paris, said, "The thesis of a plan is far from contributing to reconciliation, but has rather the potential of fueling war and violence."
I'd like to argue this afternoon that the concepts of joint criminal enterprise and command responsibility, such as they are being formulated by the two ad hoc criminal tribunals, undermine not only the rule of law, but also pose a considerable danger to peace.
Laflang has extensively published on international criminal law. According to him, the indictments of the ICTR and even those of the UN Criminal Court for former Yugoslavia mention that crimes were committed in times of conflict. Yet, with the joint criminal enterprise, no distinction is made between command responsibilities and others. Then he added, these crimes might have dictated by the violence of the other side. Using another war-inspired metaphor, Beth Lyons refers to the joint criminal enterprise as, I quote, the nuclear bomb for the prosecutors because with it they can encapsulate all their theories of conspiracy, end of quotation. In her words, that doctrine tortures law and justice.
What we're trying to do when we deal with JCE or command responsibility or any of these theories is hold the prosecution accountable to his burden.
The joint criminal enterprise was not the sole anomaly pointed out. Others are the disclosure procedures that make the defense counsel's work impossible, the issues related to witnesses, their credibility and their protection, the exaggerated and negative but accepted interference of the Rwandan government, and others. Other speakers expressed their disappointment as their initial hopes seem to have been betrayed.